Hello everyone, and welcome to my Y&R American Tea Show official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers state that Sharon Newman is in quite the situation right now. She believes she's the one behind Heather Stevens' demise and is desperately trying to frame the crime on Daniel Romalotti. Cameron Kirsten has been egging Sharon on for a long now. The wicked apparition has been pressuring her to get rid of Daniel as justice for what happened to Cassie Newman all those years ago. Alas, plans altered when Heather's lifeless body was discovered following Sharon's blackout and their confrontation in Daniel's condo. Shortly after, Cameron shifted and began pressing Sharon to frame Daniel for the murder and kill two birds with one stone. After all, Daniel would land in prison and suffer, while Sharon would finally get to live out the remainder of her life in peace. One of the things Cameron has dangled in front of Sharon's face in all this is Nick Newman and Schick finally finding their happily ever after. Since Nick and Sharon broke up immediately after Cassie's death, and Nick had an affair with Daniel's mom, Phyllis Summers, a romantic reunion would put that wrong from Cassie's death right again. Currently, Sharon is scrambling to hide her guilt in Heather's murder. The domino effect of Heather's loss is not only the sorrow Sharon is seeing Daniel and Lucy Romalotti experiencing, but knowing about Heather's dad, Paul Williams, who suffered a heart attack shortly after getting the news about his daughter. Still, it looks like Sharon will continue to persevere. She may even get away with murder for the time being. Nick came up with an amazing concept during the Tuesday, October 8 broadcast. He informed Faith Newman and Maria Copeland that he's committed to make Sharon a priority and spend more time with her. That's what friends are for, right? He seized the bull by the horns and asked Sharon if she wanted to eat supper with him that night. She jumped at the opportunity and responded, yes. Fans know that Sharon still has love for Nick, and one of the aims in all this is a romantic reunion. Fans also know that Nick has amicable intents for Sharon, but he also still has affections for his ex. Could the two be headed toward a reunion? Meanwhile, all arrows are pointing toward Daniel getting arrested for Heather's murder in the interim. With that being stated, Chance Chancellor is a top-notch detective. Evidence could pile up against Daniel where Chance is forced to arrest him. Yet, Chance is a cop that never leaves a stone unturned. He may not assume Sharon is the one behind Heather's passing, but he may have an intuition that Daniel is being blamed. Could Chance figure out that Sharon is the culprit at the most inopportune time? Could Schick land in bed together over the following couple of days, or weeks, have a beautiful night together, only for Sharon's life to come tumbling down on her? The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that the truth always comes out in the realm of Genoa City. Sharon may become comfortable and start to feel as if she's free to finally live in peace, only for the final shoe to drop. Off the reunion glow of a night in the sheets with Nick, reality could sink in where Chance is knocking at the door of her cottage, with handcuffs. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Claire Newman recently had an honest chat with Kyle Abbott about her fears. Claire had to acknowledge she was triggered by Kyle relishing Audra Charles' agony, as that was the kind of thing Jordan used to do. Kyle questioned whether Claire was comparing him to her aunt, but Claire offered confidence since she's seen Kyle's kind heart and knows how sweet he is with Harrison Abbott. At the same time, Claire couldn't help but feel a red signal owing to Kyle's latest actions. The fact that Kyle was gloating over Audra's predicament injured Claire and made her worry about the route he could be headed down. Kyle attempted to seem like he merely had to manage Audra this time, and that would be the end of it. However, our forecasts imply that Kyle may show Claire additional warning flags as their fragile romance proceeds along. That said, this may ultimately lead to Kyle getting a heroic moment. Perhaps Y&R will dirty up his persona in Claire's eyes and open the path for Kyle to rehabilitate himself. Approach would involve Kyle acting hero when Jordan inevitably returns to Geno City. It's just a matter of time until Jordan escapes from prison and comes back for another round of revenge. Claire may become a top target when that happens owing to her betrayal. Since Claire chose to be disloyal to Jordan and join the Newman family, you can bet her aunt will try to make her pay. This could provide Kyle an opportunity to put himself in peril and save Claire when it really counts. It's easy to envision Jordan going off the rails with a fresh plot for vengeance, one that may put Claire in grave danger and set the scenario for Kyle to protect her. Kyle might get harmed in the process, but he'd gain Claire's gratitude and show he's a nice person at his heart. Although Kyle is acting like an entitled brat in this corporate scenario, he might behave like a mature, selfless adult with this new Jordan aspect. Whatever the case, Kyle has some growing up to do and may end up doing it quickly if Jordan's comeback brings more threat to GC. The Young and the Restless spoilers predict Jordan's impending homecoming might unleash some chaos, so we'll send along updates on Kyle's potential heroics and any big news on his future. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that there could be a new significant person in Sharon Newman's newest storyline. Let's chat about a familiar person who could complicate things along the way. For openers, we should state there have been some signs to suggest that Alan Laurent might actually be his perverted twin brother, Martin Laurent. Although Y&R made it seem like Martin perished due to the balcony tumble, a simple clothes switch could explain why he lived instead of Alan. Since Alan didn't seem to know the Abbott mansion when he first came back to town, many people began to suspect he was really Martin. It's likely the show opted to ditch the whole Martin swap bombshell, but there's another suggestion to ponder. In the October 8 episode, Tracy Abbott introduced Sharon to Alan and disclosed that she was a qualified therapist. Alan was highly impressed once Sharon explained about her schooling and professional background, so he asked a favor of her. Since Alan is performing a psychological study and publishing a book, he solicited Sharon's input. Sharon said she's busy with her new company, but she did give Alan a maybe and could end up aiding him if she feels pressured enough. If that's the case, there are probably two ways this story could go. If this is actually Alan and not Martin, then he might spot some alarming warning signals and make an effort to aid Sharon. Sharon might make Alan her next victim if he catches on and Cameron Kirsten convinces her that she has to quiet him. However, it's also feasible that the show may stick to the plan of a Martin swap plot. It makes sense for Martin to be undertaking a psychological study and for him to use Sharon as a tool to see if he can trick a therapist. Martin could eventually detect that Sharon is a kindred spirit, at least in her current condition of mental degeneration. Maybe Sharon will slip up and ultimately let the facts come out regarding Heather Stevens' demise. If that happens, Alan might influence Sharon into thinking she's right to be listening to Cameron and that her actions were justified. Perhaps Alan will comfort Sharon that her secret is safe and push her to keep walking down this dreadful path. Martin could grow obsessed with Sharon and want to see whether she can get away with all this. There's even a potential Martin might start crushing on Sharon, so there might be another fascinating shock. Whether this is Alan or Martin, our forecasts imply that he could play a vital role in Sharon's narrative moving forward, so we'll bring you updates on all the surprising news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Sharon will make some other spectacular moves in the future episodes, so stay tuned. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time.